Disclaimer, if you're against selling that cat and putting a price on your kitty, I suggest you exit, because over here...
Welcome back to my channel. My name is Giselle Ganya. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on your bell notifications so that you don't miss a beat. In today's video, we're diving into a very controversial topic, the soft life in 304 culture. But before we get started, we're tackling a controversial question. Are women truly experiencing the soft life as it's being promoted? And should young ladies aspire to obtain this lifestyle by relying on a man to provide it for them? Join me as we explore the truths, myths, and the delicate balance of coexistence between the two cultures. Let's uncover the realities behind the allure and navigate the complexities with an open mind by listening to these stories. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Can't be a hoe forever. At the end of the day, we're gonna get old, saggy, and it's gonna be another little girl turn 18 and come out here and just, you know, so it's like, what's your purpose? Money's good, but what's the purpose? What are you doing this for? Why are you out here? Because every day you're taking a risk.
Respect all hoes. No, I take that back. I respect real hoes, because that be the tea too. A lot of you be hoes. And that's why you be so triggered when other women are around you and don't subscribe to that lifestyle. Because if you was a real, because I know a couple, and you was doing it because that's who you are, you about your bread, you're not going to feel the need to make other people validate your choices.
I absolutely love this creator. I love how authentically she is. I love how she shaped the table with conversations that y'all don't want to have, but are much needed. Just love her platform. If you ain't following her, do yourself a favor and do it. But I want to talk about this clip that I took from her video where she talk about a lot of y'all are not proud 304s. That's the truth. Let's get into this. So when I first got on this app, I spoke about how I don't believe in sleeping around with a bunch of men. Me, Dana, me personally, I don't believe in it. I would never want to give up my body to a whole bunch of different men. And I gave the different reasons on why I don't believe in doing it for myself, right? And although the only person I spoke on was myself and what it was that I wanted for my life, somehow the girls found a way to be offended about how I chose to live my life. All of a sudden, I became this modesty moderator. All of a sudden, I became this woman who was against 304s. I became all of these things. First off, who you sleep with don't send me to the clinic. Right? So let's get that straight. I could care less what you out here doing, because at the end of the day, I don't have to pay for your bad decisions that you make. But one thing I will never respect is a girl who go around here pretending and acting as if she really about that 304 lifestyle, but get offended every time somebody bring it up or say something to her. That was one of the main reasons why I never could stand Amber Rose. She would go around talking about how proud she was to be a 304. She would have a slut walk. She would, you know, encourage all of these other girls to jump on a bandwagon and do what she was doing. But anytime she was somewhere in an interview being called out about the lifestyle or being referred to as being a 304 in any type of way, she was always somewhere defending herself. And so I was in confusion, because I'm trying to understand, if you such a proud 304, why are you always somewhere trying to explain yourself? Why are you always somewhere trying to convince other people to change their opinions about how they feel about the lifestyle that you live in? Real 304s don't do that. Just yesterday, I was online and I seen a video of Sukiyana going viral of her crying and talking about how everybody make mistakes and why everybody be trying to hold her past against her. First off, it ain't your past because you currently doing it, right? But nevertheless, if you so proud, if you so about that life that you keep promoting to other women, why do you always be somewhere upset and crying when somebody bring it back up? Y'all are not proud of these things that y'all are doing, and it shows. Anytime you have to get upset at somebody for bringing up the lifestyle that you chose to do with your free will that God gave you, because nobody forced you to do it, But anytime you feel like you got to defend yourself, you got to argue with people, you got to call people names, you got to tell them that they got internalized misogyny, you got to tell them they live by respectability politics, you got to use all these different buzzwords to try to bully them into backing down off of their beliefs because their beliefs don't align with what it is that you do. You're not really about that life. At the end of the day, most of y'all are not about that 304 lifestyle. You really can't stand 10 toes down in it. You just a bunch of lover girls who done got your feelings hurt out here on the dating scene. You'd have been out here talking to dude after dude, sleeping with dude after dude, thinking it was going to get you the results that you wanted, thought it was going to make him like you more, and it didn't. And you just continued to repeat the same vicious cycle until you racked up a whole bunch of bodies. That's it. That's all. It ain't got nothing to do with you enjoying sex so much, you being able to move like men, you not having no feelings, you being cold-hearted. It takes a special kind of woman to be out here smashing a whole bunch of different dudes and not catch no feelings. And that's usually built off trauma. Something has happened to that woman to get her to that point. That is not normal behavior for a woman. I don't care what you say. You go argue with somebody else. So you can miss me with it. But like I said, the biggest telltale sign is y'all always over explaining yourself and being upset when somebody call out this so-called lifestyle that you so proud of. You're not proud of it, but you need to forgive yourself. You need to take it to God and forgive yourself, because anytime you feel like you got to defend and be upset because somebody else chose a different alternative route than you need to go talk to yourself and forgive yourself and make peace with it.
What's your age?
19.
29. I like them young. Perfect age gap for a relationship.
Why?
Well, see, when they're 19, you can train them. Very young, so, you know, you can influence them and train them to be the perfect woman for you.
Would guys your age be able to provide the same things that he provide for you right now?
Of course not.
They are not trying to sell you the soft life. They are trying to sell you manipulation station. Okay? You guys, this isn't meant to critique the soft life because I support it, okay? What I'm saying is that some people, they'll take this popular idea that's going around, they'll twist it and try to sell you this dream life when really they're trying to bring you into an abusive relationship where they can have the power. Your brain doesn't even properly and fully develop until you're 25, okay? And what this affects is our ability to make decisions, to prioritize. If you're younger, chances are you haven't been in that relationship yet that has taught you how to have boundaries when you haven't had them in the past. And so these older men know that and they prey on that. They like that you don't know how to set boundaries yet. They like that you still don't know who you are. Someone who is 19 versus someone who is 29, that's a huge difference in life experience and just knowledge of who you are as a person. The thing is too, with these kind of guys, they're always gonna use their age as a weapon. They'll say, oh, I know what I'm talking about. You don't get it because you're young. You guys, this is no hate to the girl in the video. We gotta understand why other women will get into these kind of relationships. So let's not judge. Rather, go ahead and show some love to some of the women in your life, your friends, your family. We gotta be boosting each other's self-esteem and confidence constantly so we can avoid these type of men on the regular. Bye!
What I do as a stay-at-home fiance while my fiance is at work, I got up and I took a nice long soak in the tub. I then did my facial routine. This usually takes me a good 3 to 4 hours. I then got dressed. I wore my pink Chanel to match my Birkin. I went to my favorite antique store to pick out some Christmas decorations, stopped at Chanel to grab a few things, and of course got myself some lunch. And then once I got home, he was back and we got dressed and headed to this private event hosted by Bulgari. I modeled some of his favorite pieces for him and we picked out a couple of things and sealed the deal with some champagne. Bye.
Ladies, get dressed, get beautiful, and go sit at the bar. Sit at some fancy hotel bar. Go sit at an upscale restaurant's bar. It works. I met my now multi-millionaire fiance by sitting at a luxury hotel bar. And I will give you guys examples of why sitting at a bar and getting yourself one cocktail and one appetizer is not desperate. It's actually freaking normal. 2 years ago, I decided I wanted to go shopping, and so I wanted to go to Saks. Saks happens to be where all the fancy restaurants and fancy hotel bars are. So usually I will go shopping and then go to one of those restaurants and sit there and get myself an appetizer and get myself maybe a glass of champagne or a cocktail. So I was sitting at the bar at one of my favorite restaurants in Boston,
And right next to me was an older gentleman. I would say he was in his 60s, and he was sitting with another gentleman, and that guy happened to be, I would say, maybe late 30s, early 40s. So they're sitting, they chatting, I'm sitting there, I'm eating my oysters, I'm drinking my dirty martini, I'm on my phone, and I'm just kind of like, you know, doing my own thing and minding my own business. I'm not paying them any attention, and they're not paying me any attention at all. They eat, they pay, and they're ready to go. The older gentleman, the guy who was in his 60s, he stands up and he turns and he looks at me, and for some odd reason felt like he wanted to take me out to dinner. So he took out his business card and he handed it to me, and he simply said, I would love to take you out to dinner someday. I, of course, smiled and I took his card. But because I was sitting there kind of minding my own business, you know, on my phone, I just kind of took the card and I placed it in my purse, and I didn't think about it that day. My card went missing and popped up 2 weeks later. I found it and I was like, well, this is the guy who said he wanted to take me out to dinner. But before I go out with someone, I would like to know if they have money, because that was my purpose of going to these fancy places, because I wanted to find a man who potentially could take care of me. So I will Google them. So I Googled this man, and of course, he was worth $9.6 million. Now, the reason I'm telling you guys this story is because I don't come from a family with money. I don't have those connections. I did not go to private school, so I don't have those type of friends. Most likely, I'm probably not going to meet a man who is at his level from the neighborhood that I lived in, from going to the grocery store that I was going to, because these type of men don't do their own groceries. These type of men are not at the gym because they have a personal trainer, okay? These type of men are not on Bumble, they're not on Hinge, they're not on Tinder, they're not on Instagram, they're not gonna slide in your DM. These type of men, the only way you are going to meet them as a woman who does not come from money and doesn't have any connections is by hanging out at the places that they hang out. Now, the only place that would be, okay, where a normal person like yourself, who is not coming from a family worth millions of dollars, the only place you will meet a man like that is by going to the restaurants that he goes and have his business meetings. He goes and have dinner with his friends, just like that guy sitting next to me, okay? Would I have known he was worth $9.6 million if I did not take the time to Google him? No. With him just sitting right next to me, would I have known that? No. Would I have met that man if I did not that day decide I'm going to go sit at this bar and get myself some oysters and a cocktail? No, because the neighborhood that I lived in, he wasn't hanging out there, okay? The grocery stores that I was going to, he was not hanging out there. He wasn't on Bumble, because I happened to have been on Bumble at that time. He was not on Hinge. He was not on any of those things. My now fiance, I would have never met him if I did not go and frequent this fancy hotel bar with my girlfriends, by myself, anytime I just wanted a little appetizer or, you know, shopping, because it's in the area where all the fancy shops are. If I did not put myself in that room, I probably would have never met him, because he too was not a guy on Bumble. He's not on Hinge. He's not, you know, at the gym. He's a businessman. So the only way I was going to meet him was at a restaurant or at a bar. Okay, now I don't have access to country clubs, which is another way you can meet people, or private clubs, which is another way you can meet people. But moral of the story is, it's not desperate for you to go sit at the bar and get yourself an appetizer and a cocktail in hopes to meet somebody, because that's exactly what those places are set up for, so that single people can sit at the bar and not at a table and interact with each other. When you hang out around people that have money, it starts to rub off on you, okay? Take it from me, I'm an example. I'm in a penthouse. Get ready with me as I tell you guys how I met my fiance. Disclaimer, if you're against selling that cat and putting a price on your kitty, I suggest you exit, because over here, we got a price, baby, okay?
I am just doing the final touches on my makeup because honestly I filmed this video and then I was like, oh, let me film it again. People come on my comments all the time and they're like, be honest, you were out selling that cat and that's how you met him. And I was, because I have no shame in having a price on my kitty cat. So I met my now fiance at one of my favorite hotel bars that I used to go to in Boston. I was actually waiting for my friend because she and I were gonna go a little bar hopping. So as soon as I walked in and sat down, I think I was sitting down for probably like 2 minutes. He walks in with his guy friend. Immediately they walk up to me. First thing he said was, can I buy you a drink? Take notes, ladies. That is how a gentleman approaches a woman sitting at the bar. He didn't ask me my name. He didn't ask me what I did for a living. He didn't ask any of those things. He just asked me what I wanted to drink. And the bartender was making our drinks. I excused myself to the ladies' room and I wanted him to see my legs because my legs were out and I was looking good, okay? And when I came back, the sitting arrangements had changed because originally his friend was sitting next to me and he was sitting on the other side to his friend. And when I came back from the bathroom, him and his friend had exchanged seats. So I obviously caught game because I'm like, okay, so obviously he really likes me, which is fine because he was the one that was swiping the card. Then at this point, my friend walks in, he offers to buy my friend a drink and, you know, we're hanging out, we're getting to know each other, and at the end of the night, he asks me if I want to come back to his place. And obviously, I told him it was gonna cost him because I'm sorry, you just met me. So if you're gonna assume I'm going to be a hoe that gets paid. I'm not a free hoe. And he told me that, you know, that wasn't something that he does, and he doesn't carry, you know, that amount of cash on him. But he then proceeds to tell me that he would still like to get to know me and take me out to dinner one day. Most men are threatened by women that have a price on their kitty. So I was actually surprised to hear him say he would still like to take me out to dinner, even though I turned him down or told him that it was gonna cost him some coins if I was to go home with him. When I gave him my number, I did not really think that he was going to like actually reach out. A week later, he reached out and he asked me out to dinner on our first date. Keep in mind, he met me during my birthday month. We met like 3 weeks before my actual birthday, and for my actual birthday, I was going to Morocco. We went on our first date, and then we went on our second date a week before I was supposed to leave for Morocco. So he already, you know, asked me out for our third date, but because it was my birthday month, I told him that I wasn't gonna go on a third date with him unless he was gonna have a gift for me because it's my birthday month. You are courting me, you want to take me out, you want to spend time with me. What do I look like spending time on my birthday month with a man who's not gonna buy me a gift? And once again, he wasn't offended by that, and he said of course he could do that on our third day. So we went out to eat, and then he was like, would you like to go back to my place? On this day, I said, of course. Also, my gift was at his house. I wanted to see what the gift was. So we go to his house. He got me this cute Louis Vuitton purse with this Chanel perfume. Also a basket filled with like masks, chocolate, little things that girls like. Like he literally put a lot of thought into it. And I was like, that is so sweet. And then he wanted to kiss me. And I was like, baby, relax. Hold on, we need to talk about it. I was like, what are we doing? And so he then proceeded to ask me to be his girlfriend. But like I said, I was thotting and bopping. So I had a roster of men that were taking care of me, paying my bills, buying me nice things, taking me on vacation. So I told him that there was no way I could give him exclusiveness unless he was willing to take care of everything that these other guys were taking care of, which was my bills, my, you know, car, everything. And once again, he wasn't threatened by it and he agreed. Said, of course, that's something that he can do. I then was like, okay, I'm going to be your girlfriend. And so then I became a stay-at-home girlfriend, and I didn't have to go out and thot and bop anymore, you know, because I had him paying my bills. At the time I had my own place. He had his own place. We did not start really living together until after we got engaged. And even after we got engaged, I still lived in my own place for a while. You guys like to hear the story about how I got him to propose to me? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, that is how I met my now fiance. The moral of the story is, don't let anybody tell you that your past is going to determine your future. And a man that really loves you is going to love you regardless of what you did and the mistakes that you made in the past. Some of you guys have seen my video I posted about having a price on my kitty cat. Has gone viral on Twitter and has made its way onto the Neighborhood Talk and a couple of other platforms. So let's address a few things. Number one, for the girlies that were under the comments talking about my wig, if your baby daddy cannot afford to give you $1,000 for child support a month, baby, you're worried about the wrong thing. Worried about a wig when you should be worried about the fact that you're getting played. This Hermes sweater costs more than $1,000 and your baby daddy can't give you that for child support and you're worried about my wig. Make it make sense. The guys that we're talking about, oh, just $1,000. First of all, let me tell you guys something. The average human cannot afford my kitty cat. I got this one man to spend $200,000 on me in what, 4 months? Because I guess I had to come on here with receipts to prove to you guys that you guys cannot afford me. So please relax. We're just gonna start with the material things. I have this 10 motif Van Cleef necklace with matching earrings and a matching bracelet. Also have this Van Cleef bracelet. I know some of you guys are so used to the flower. You guys don't know the other pieces that they have, but this was $26,000. He also got me this alligator skin Louis Vuitton bag. This $30,000. Got me a Kelly. This is a Kelly 28 Togo leather. Absolutely love her. My everyday bag. Still alone on the material things he got me. Well, I think we were at like 90, almost $100,000 or maybe more. And he wire transferred me $60,000, $30,000, $20,000, $10,000. So moral of the story is you cannot afford me, please. Some of you guys can't even get $1,000 after you've had a child by a man and you have the audacity to come in the comments. Like grown-ups are talking, listen, take notes. Because I'm not with this man anymore, but I can sell any of these things. It is what it is. Put a price on it. Mine, I got that $1 million, ooh. Really just trying to put you guys to game. And you can demand the things that you want from men. A man who can afford to give you those things is going to give it to you. Shout out to Holy Grail Daddy. And I knew after him I could find another, and I did. My now fiance, an AP for my birthday. Like, let's be real.
Being a prostitute in Vegas is so fucking embarrassing. So I'm trying to change my life around. And so I'm to give me a little sheriff's card because I was like, okay, let me go work in the club. Right? So boom, you know, in Vegas, you got to get a sheriff's card. So on the referral paper, you have to write down literally every single charge that you've ever had. Girl, I'm start filling out all my charges. I had my bail bondsman send me a list. Girl, it was not even enough spaces on the paper for me to finish filling out my charges. So boom, I get up to the window with the lady and she looking at my paper. She's like, is this all of your charges that you've been convicted of and stuff like that? I'm like, yeah. She's like, no. So she pulls out a notepad and she go get a whole nother paper. And we literally had to go down the line from 2014 all the way till 2022, the last time that I've been arrested. And 2021, bitch, I was off the motherfucking chain. It was like trespass, 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 soliciting, trespass, trespass, soliciting, trespass, soliciting. Like, I know my mama ain't signed me up for this life. Like, what? God, is this how I'm living? But anyways, they fucked with your girl, so I'm finna be scraping up ones off the floor like you hoes do, and I'm finna say big bag on the way. Yeah,
I hate how social media be trying to push out this little fake soft girl life, soft girl aesthetic. Everything gotta be a certain way. Baby, we want to see the real bitches. Show us the bitches that be on Facebook buying food stamps off of other hoes on Facebook. Show us how, damn, my car just broke down, y'all. Shit, gotta call my baby daddy to come get it fixed, and you getting into it with your baby daddy with your baby on your hip. Show us that shit. Show us how you just came from the projects and how you made it up out that shit into your decent ass motherfucking apartment that you got by yourself without no nigga. Show us that. Quit showing us, running to Target, then after that, running to Starbucks. Oh my God. Like, bitch, we get it. And we don't give a fuck no more. Like, we in 2023, wrap that shit on up, baby, because we tired of seeing that. Running to Target and Starbucks, then taking your ass to the gym. Bitch.
Now, don't throw me in a jar or anything, but I feel like the soft girl trend is a scam. There's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to pamper yourself, nurture yourself, and participate in self-care, to want to live a lavish and luxurious life. Like, you deserve that. Everybody deserves that. But I don't see it promoting the healing that it claims that it does. I don't think that the women who participate in the soft girl era are going to come out the healed woman that they think that they are. They're going to look pretty. They're going to smell nice, but the wounds are still going to be there, and they might be exacerbated a little bit. The divine feminine is complemented by the divine masculine, and I'm not talking about your divine masculine counterpart, your twin flame. No, you have a divine masculine aspect inside of you. There's yin and there's yang. Giving one energetic aspect more attention than the other creates an imbalance. You will become an imbalanced person. Potentially, you become a half-assed person because you're only operating with one part of yourself. I feel like the soft life shouldn't be the ultimate goal because it's actually just a byproduct of you living an aligned life. And that is accomplished by you balancing both your divine masculine and divine feminine aspects together.
Can we stop with this soft life and romanticizing our life BS? Because really and truly, we don't really have it like that. We do not really have it like that. Soft life does not mean working 5 to 6 days a week, 12-hour shifts, warehouse, working and sweating like a man just to go on holiday for one weekend or go to an evening with low lighting. Low lighting does not equal soft life. And a lot of people don't really have it like that. When are we going to accept SFE is not soft life? Warehouse funds are not soft life. Damaging your hair with a bunch of chemicals just to do a leave out to make your hair look manageable and easy and all that BS is not soft life. But of course, if the girlies want to be delusional, then me too, I live a soft life.
This whole soft girl era is a thing. And I will say that I think that whole aesthetic TikTok thing is BS. Honestly, I don't like it. It's very sugar-coated, package it up and sell it to people. But there are women who are out there who are really trying to better themselves. Some of the pushback we get is that it's not believable.
Soft girl life is by getting your nails done, pedicures and manicures, and looking the part. That's not your shortcoming. So what is it that men actually want for a lifetime instead of for a night? I'm telling you that your legs are fully developed. You need to work your upper body. The next few times I see you in the gym, you're still doing squats.
I hear you.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate the recent support I've been receiving. Let's keep the conversation going down in the comments below. I really want the older ladies and more experienced women to chime in. Please share your thoughts and maybe even experiences down in the chat below. We're all here to learn from one another. And your voice matters in order to curate this conversation. Thank you once again. God bless and stay safe. Until the next video. Bye.
Can you focus on me? Baby, can you focus on me?